In the last video, I installed Windows 7. We're installing Windows XP. So, given that my PC doesn't support Windows XP, I decided to go with all the hardware. This PC has an Intel Core i5-750 and GTX 460, which is around the best hardware XP supports. I went to the archives to download the XP image. Now I had a problem. Essentially, there are several versions of Windows XP, those being the original x86 32-bit, IA32, 4 32-bit computers. Alongside this, the version for IA64, which was Intel's 64-bit architecture that ultimately failed. In 2003, Windows Server 2003 launched with a more stable kernel. It was still in T, just a little different compared to 2000 and XP. It had 3 releases, IA32, IA64, and this obscure one you probably haven't heard of called AMD 64, which is nowadays the basis of most processors. Windows XP for AMD 64 is built on Server 2003, meaning that it's not really XP's kernel under the hood. I have 2 options really, the original 32-bit version, which would have more support for older apps, and the AMD 64 version, which might be more supported by newer apps. I decided to go with the AMD 64 version, mainly because I wanted to take full advantage of the x86 chip inside of this PC. I downloaded the image, then flashed it onto a USB stick, only to find the image wasn't bootable. After obtaining a bootable image, Rufus let me flash it. On the computer, I booted into the USB drive. Nice, it's working! After it loaded all the drivers, we got to this setup screen. So apparently, if you try to install from a USB, Windows XP won't see the end user license agreement thing. Anyway, CD time I guess. After spending some time burning a CDR, which is not something I thought I would say in 2026, the install finally copied everything and we were into the second stage of setup. Suddenly it blue screened with the error on USB audio.sys. I tried reinstalling and it got stuck in the exact same place. Maybe my headset, which I had connected using USB, was causing some sort of issue? Yes, it was. Now that we were booted, the challenge of finding drivers began. NVIDIA luckily has kept up all their downloads for legacy operating systems, going down all the way to Windows 95. So grabbing those was no issue. As for Ethernet, well, I downloaded the drivers of the chipset only for the Ethernet to not work. I then found out the chip for Ethernet in the PC is a Realtek card. I hunted down the driver for it, only for the internet to still not work. After a long process of trial and error, trying new drivers and even using the less than optimal Windows inbuilt troubleshooter, I realized that for these older systems you have to manually type in your IP address and DNS. I guess we just take it for granted that modern operating systems do all that stuff by themselves. Anyway, I used Internet Explorer to download Supermium, which is a Chromium fork that works on Windows XP and Server 2003. I quickly downloaded Avast 18, which is the newest antivirus I know of to support XP and Vista natively. I used a program called Legacy Update to update my system to the latest security updates. Now I thought of something, running programs made for Windows 10 on Windows XP. This is OneCore API, which allows me to run more modern software on XP. For example, here's the Firefox 115 ESR installer. When run, it says it requires Windows 7 or later. Right-clicking the installer, then selecting Properties, then Compatibility, we see new options for Windows Vista 7, 8, 8.1, 10 and 11. Let's select Windows 7. And now the installer works with no issues. Here we are using Firefox on Windows XP. On the topic of web browsers, I downloaded Brave Browser Portable, and after enabling compatibility mode, it works fine. But web browsers aren't that big of a deal. After all, you're probably watching this video in a web browser. So, funny story, here's Windows 7 running inside of XP. VMware 10 supports Windows XP and also supports Windows 7, so this is a thing that exists. 7-Zip, it turns out you can just go to their website, click 64-bit download, run the exe, and you have 7-Zip installed. Okay, so basic stuff works fine. Minecraft on Windows XP, maybe? That would work, right? Yeah, the official launcher fails to update. Maybe because we're on Windows XP, I don't know, baby. After some time, I found out Multi-MC still supports Windows XP. I installed Java 8 because it's the latest supports Java, but anything over 1.17 requires Java 16. But Minecraft 1.16.5 menu, I'm gonna click single player and the world will be called It's on Windows XP, and we're gonna go into, let's say, creative. We're gonna create the world here, and let's see, 21 FPS, which is actually crazy to think about. I'm gonna drop down the settings a little bit. Right, let's see how well this runs. 200 FPS. I then tried Discord. Apparently there's a custom client called Discord Messenger that supports all the way down to Windows NT 3.1. That released in 1992, by the way. So it worked amazingly. So overall, Windows XP was a nice system. Now with that said, I'll probably stick to something modern. Okay, maybe not that modern.